What sucks about being your age, mid to late 20s, feeling like I'm way behind from where I should be by now. Being retired. The two things that really suck are 1. Watching good friends pass away yearly. 2. Having to push through the aches and pains of old age to do the things you enjoy. But I realize that I'm luckier than many of my friends who have had hip, knee or shoulder replacements or open heart surgery. Wrinkle cream and acne cream? Question mark. Question mark. Question mark. Question mark. Being sore because I slept wrong. I'm 29. 5 couples from my friends' circle are expecting a child or recently got married. A few others have built a solid foundation in their career and are buying houses. Most of us grew up in apartment buildings, so it feels fancy to own a house at 30 where I'm from. Meanwhile, I'm currently a student and broke. It feels like everyone's so far ahead in life that they'll always be a step further and I'll never catch up. Once your friends start getting married and having kids, shit becomes lonely. The early 30s is that weird age where you're just old enough to be out of touch with what's cool, but not yet old enough to be fully progressed in your career to be sitting on enough stacks to not care about that. Getting there at least. I'm too old to take up most action sports. The body doesn't bounce back like it used to. That shit's real. And too young to retire and just fuck off all the time. My body is starting to feel the aches and pains older people have told me about. It's not terrible, just really annoying. I'm 25 and the whole existential dread of figuring out what to do with my life is probably the worst part of things. Being 50, I better find something good. When you finally understand what Mark Twain meant when he said, "Youth is wasted on the young." Edit. Quote is from George Bernard Shaw. Or maybe Oscar Wilde. Old enough to start to hurt and ache, but supposedly I have another 30 years of productivity in me. At 73 I am reminded daily, by my body, that I am not 25 years old anymore. What sucks about being 30-ish is, now you actually have to make important decisions you were putting off, like changing career, etc. Final year student in 2020. Fuck you, Corona. Too old to be relevant but too young to be taken seriously. My body is starting to fail me and no matter what I can do, I can really only watch. Nobody likes you when you're 23, being 21. Feel pressure to save money before I move out on my own. Bills, rent, textbooks, tuition, etc. Went to community college, paid tuition, and lived at home. Still very hormonal despite not being a teen anymore and I am horny and depressed all the time. At least I can drink. Edit. Just wanted to thank all of you for the great advice. I appreciate it so much. How old are you? I am 20. I mean 30. 26. Everyone fucking asking what you redoing with your life. I don't know. I don't want to talk about jobs, dulled emotions. Being a teenager had some very low lows but the highs also felt higher. Now I am in a constant state of apathy. Nearly 60. I forget things all the time. Easy to remember old things. Hard to remember new things. I once lost my card in an ATM twice in 1 month. All my passwords have to be written down somewhere, as do the birthdays of my lids. I constantly get fatter, even though I don't eat anymore. I haven't had regular sleep patterns for 20 years. Every day I'm a little more tired. I have a perfectly clean driving record and over 6 years of never missing an insurance payment. But the monthly insurance bill is more than my car payment. I've been to 15 different places. It all ranges from $200 to $350 a month, and I'll lose my list as if I can't afford it working 9 an hour. I lose my car. I lose my job and apartment. Being 1 year closer to death than I was last year. Expected to act like an adult but get treated like a child. I am 17. Edit. Wow. My first silver. Thank you, kind stranger. 22. Graduated college into a pandemic. I wouldn't change being 41 for anything, but new aches and pains all the time definitely make it suck. The panic is beginning to set in about what I'm going to do with my life. I also can't stop looking back on decisions I've made that drastically altered my life for the worse. I'm not old, but I'm at an age where I'm wondering what I'm going to do with the years I have left. Recently I wrote out a 10-year plan for where I want to get to. Because at this point my entire endgame is to end up with a smile on my face in the later years of my life. You're too young to do things. BC, everybody finds you like a stupid child. Nobody pays attention to your opinion. You just exist, you don't live. You exist, that's terrible for a person like me. BC, I wanna do stuff. I wanna work. I wanna study the things I like. I wanna talk with elder PPL. But that's difficult. Between the age of getting your driver's license and being a legal adult. 17 is just purgatory for privilege. Not being old enough to drink and not young enough to call yourself a teen. Too young to own a house. Too old to keep living at my parents'. Not a physical thing, but more of a psychological enlightenment in my 30s and realizing how hard being an adult is and everything my parents did for me to succeed. At my age now, they already had 2 young kids running around. Meanwhile I forget to buy dog food. And don't know how to do my taxes. Being around people that are in their late 30s or 40s feels like I'm not really an adult. But talking to their teenage kids makes me feel like I'm 100 years old. 49-year-old here. The menopausal hot flushes etc. are not a problem, but putting 4 stone in weight on in 8 months is fucking awful. Remembering I am, in fact, this old, and not a 13 to 16-year-old like my mind keeps telling me I am. With the pandemic going on, many people in my age group have just been overlooked for assistance. I'm 22, almost 23, and graduating college right now in the US. My university is in a different state from my family, so I have to pay rent for an apartment and buy my own food and all of that. But I also lost both of my part-time jobs when this all started. One as a student employee for the university. Another working in a restaurant nearby. Because I'm a student, I've been ineligible to collect unemployment. And because my parents still claim me as a dependent on the taxes, I don't get a stimulus check. Also because I'm over 18. My parents don't get any additional bonus to their own stimulus checks while financially supporting me as best they can. I've had ongoing issues over the past year and a half with not being able to afford food most of the time. But the problem has been especially pronounced during quarantine. I don't eat more than 1 meal a day because I need to ration what I have. If I'm in this situation, I know that there have to be others like me. The government has not and will not be giving me any sort of aid. And now as a new graduate I'm trying to apply for my first full-time job in a crashing economy, where no one is hiring. At this point, my only measure of success in life will be when I can afford rent, other bills, and food. That's literally all it'll take to make me happy. And I think that sucks.